Much more THQ, Kevin Owen with you this hour, 5 p.m. now this Thursday, and that breaking news, let me tell you about that. Russia, Turkey and Iran have signed today, a couple of hours ago, a memorandum establishing 4 zones of de-escalation, as they're being termed in Syria. This was made possible at a new round of peace talks held in the Kazakh capital, Astana, between the Syrian government and the armed opposition. The proposal was supported by Syrian authorities, and it's aimed at strengthening the ceasefire in that long war-torn country. Artist Lizzie Phelan has the latest from Damascus.
Well, this is an important development with the signing of this memorandum of understanding by Russia, Turkey and Iran of that Russian proposal for de-escalation zones, the crux of which is essentially a freezing of the conflict between government forces and opposition forces in 4 areas. So-called moderate rebels in those areas will be charged with taking on extremist groups, internationally designated terrorist organizations like Islamic State and the Al-Qaeda affiliate formerly named Al-Nusra Front. And this plan is essentially aimed at strengthening already agreed upon ceasefires in Syria and should enable parties monitoring those ceasefires to better be able to differentiate again between the so-called moderate opposition and extremist groups. Now, supposedly, if the fighting does manage to come to a halt in those areas, then we could be seeing the establishment of no-fly zones under this proposal.
President Putin and I discussed no-fly zones and how they'll be established. It's one of the main topics on the agenda at the Astana talks, and I hope for a breakthrough. One of the ways to strengthen the ceasefire regime is to create these safety zones or de-escalation zones. Yesterday, I discussed this issue with President Trump. As far as I understand, the American side supports the idea.
The Syrian government did initially back this proposal, although there's still major challenges. They have yet themselves to sign that memorandum of understanding, as do the opposition, who still have a long list of demands, they say, before they can agree to this proposal. So despite this important progress this afternoon, still significant challenges before we can see this proposal becoming a reality on the ground here in Syria.